and welcome to day 2 of my Lunchtime launch video series. Today is the official launch day of so many new Stampin' Up! Products. It's crazy to think about how much there are. There are products from the January to April mini catalog. There are products from the new scrapbooking digital brochure. There are new online exclusive products. There are new kits. And of course, there are Sale-a-bration items that you can now select with every $60 order that you place before shipping and handling. If you would like to see everything that's available, head on over to my online store. You can find the link to that in the description of this video. Now, Crash, what do you think? Should we show a project? Let's show them something from both the mini catalog and the Sale-a-bration brochure. In today's Lunchtime launch video, I'm showcasing the terrific Toadstools bundle. Now remember, with a bundle, if you use the bundle code right here, you'll save 10% over purchasing the stamp, and in this case, punch, separately. So always remember, bundle when you can for extra savings. Now this terrific Toadstools bundle that's found on page 53 of that January to April mini catalog, comes with lots of great little toadstool stamps. There's a little ladybug here that you could stamp in red and then add this to the back, but this also doubles as a toadstool itself, I think. So you have all sorts of little pieces, and you've got 3 sentiments to go with it. But there's more. During Sale-a-bration, Stampin' Up! Often comes up with something that coordinates with bundles in the catalog, and this is one of those cases. So this is the Toadstool Gardens Designer Series paper. It's 6x6, and you get 8 sheets of 6 designs. So here's one design, but it's really 12 designs because you've got the back as well. This is what I call the My Little Pony design, because all I can see when I look at this quickly is this looks like hair from My Little Pony. And so I can't unsee it now. Perhaps you can't either. But there's some purple stripes on the other side. I love this striped paper, so vibrant and pretty. And on the back, it's just a bunch of little dots that are in fresh freesia and melon mambo and granny apple green, I think. This one is a little on the psychedelic side for me. I could maybe only use this in little pieces probably. But the back side has a perfect mushroom print. So that's great. And I happen to love this design as well. So pretty. The colors are just so fun. And on the back, on the back of this one, you've got this green leafy design. And then you've got this fun stripy kind with some melon mambo somethings on the back. Anyway, so I think what I'm going to use is this piece right here for my card today. And should be a pretty quick and easy card. Let's move some of this stuff out of the way. I have gone ahead and die cut a circle, the largest circle from the Stylish Shapes die set, which you know is one of my absolute favorites. And I'm going to bring in my stamps. Now, I've already mounted some of these stamps. This right here makes a great ground stamp. So, because I don't have my chamois cleaned and ready to go, I'm going to stamp on a piece of scrap underneath this. I'm just going to add this to the very bottom here of my circle in granny apple green, which is one of the colors. So there we have some ground. If I wanted to add some more, I certainly could. I think that's going to be good enough for me right now. I'm going to add some of my toadstool pieces here. Now the punch cuts out 2 of the toadstool tops, this one and this one, and it also makes its own little stem. It's wider, I mean, it's narrower than this one, and certainly a different shape than that one. So you can choose to cut out a stem or just stamp them, and I think I'm gonna just stamp them. I'm gonna stamp my toadstools first though. I've already got those mounted. What am I doing? So let's go ahead and take this one, which is that larger one. Now when I go to put this into my punch, I'm gonna put it and punch it this way. So it needs to be at an end of my scrap paper, whatever I am stamping on. So if I'm stamping on this, I want the curviest side or the top of the cap at the bottom. Let's see, I think I can fit this right here. I can. Let's go ahead and put that one in. Let's stamp this one in Poppy Parade, I think. Nope, let's do this one in the Pumpkin Pie. Now remember, based on where my punch punches, I'm going to stamp that right there. And then you can see when you slide this in, you just line it up and punch. Now for the other one, I've already got that mounted. I'm going to do that one in Poppy Parade, which you're going to see is just such a vibrant, fun color for a toadstool. Might be kind of classic toadstool if you ask me. I'm going to stamp that on the other end of that scrap. There you go. Let's get some of these little bits and pieces out. All right, so we've got a couple of little pieces here, and we need their stems. I'm going to bring in, I think I'm going to bring in these stems, and I'm going to fussy cut them, because I think when you're making something that's standing out as much as this one, it's not a bad idea. I've already got one mounted. I'll need to mount the other one. So we'll just take that off, put that there. I'm bringing in a scrap of what I used yesterday, which is Basic Beige. And I will stamp in Basic Beige on Basic Beige. That'll make it a little bit darker. But it's kind of mushroomy colored. So it works. Ooh, looks like I had some red on there. I can't have that. There we go, that's better. Now let's grab my snips here. This is gonna be a cinch to fussy cut because it's all, I mean, there's not many ins and outs. It's just kind of go around. And I'll explain to you why I'm fussy cutting in just a second. You don't need to, but this is one of those things where I feel I need to, for the sake of it being a little bit more realistic. Not that anybody's going to think that there's an actual toadstool on their card. Let's see. And then this one right here as well. This one's super easy to cut out. I could punch this out. It would just be the thinner one. And that would be okay too. But I wanted the thicker one. So that's why I'm going with this. All right, so that was pretty easy to cut out. So now if I just think about putting this here, now how can you see that this goes right into the middle? So that's the bottom side of the mushroom. It makes sense that this, the bottom piece is sticking up into it. So that's why I did that. And then if I have this one, we have that. I could have just stamped this. That would have been fine. but I think popping it up is going to make it extra fine and extra fun. I think I will rearrange this just a tad though. And I want this guy a little bit shorter. So I'm gonna just trim him a little bit and make him shorter. That's the beauty of doing this, I think. All right, I need to adhere this together. Just need a little bit of glue right there. Make sure I got the right side. I do. All right, let's let that set up for a second. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Now, did I have to stamp? I didn't have to stamp. I didn't have to stamp this one. I could have just done this, punched it out or cut out a mushroom shape, stem shape. But see how you can see the detail on this one, the stripes in there, because I did, oops, you know what? I put glue in too many spots here. All right, so we're gonna go like that. Now I wanna put some dimensionals on the back of these. So we're gonna put one there, one there. You know what? Nope. This one I'm not gonna pop up. I'm only gonna pop up one of them, I think. And for this one, we can put one on the stem right down there. Fits pretty nicely. All right. Now let's rearrange. Let's arrange this how we want it. Like that, sticking up like that. And this one can kind of come almost in its shadow like that. That's good right there. Now there is a little bit of there's a sentiment here that says just a little thank you. Don't know, I think I can put that in there if I just move this down. So let's do that before we position that last one. Let's take just a little thank you and put that right there in the Granny Apple Green. And then we'll adhere this down. So here's the focal point of our card, already done. I think I like that better right there. Okay. Now I can make a card front out of this. Let's see. That is kind of busy right there, isn't it? So how do we make it a little bit less busy? Do we just put it on the side? Do we just, or do we try a back? Let's try some of the different backs and see what we like. Okay, we've tried that one. Okay, I don't like that. There's no melon mambo tying it in there, so I don't really care for that one. That's the same problem. It was kind of busy. Ooh, it kind of can do this though, right? Yeah, I could do that. All right, that's in the running. Let's see what else we have. We could put it on the mushroomy kind of paper. That kind of works. We've got this. It gets a little bit lost on this, but it's not too bad. Not too bad. How about if we were to, I'm going to go back to this piece, I think. No, because too much melon mambo there. How about I go back to this piece right here? And let's get our card base out. I'm going to use basic white, thick basic white. I always choose the thick for my base. Let's see if we can find one right here. All right, now we need to cut this down. And the question is, do I want a little border or do I want the whole thing to be green? I think I want a little border. And also because I really, really like this paper on the back. So I'm going to cut this down to 3 3/4. And then by 5. That's going to give us quite a large white border. We could put more color on there if I wanted to. But then we've got something that looks just like that. That's kind of fun. Let's go ahead and pop this all up on dimensionals. It's so hard sometimes to cover up some of the designs. Sometimes I don't mind at all, because I don't like every single design in a pack, but I can usually find something to do with them all. All right, that looks pretty good. And then let's do this right here. Now in your in the mini catalog, there are also some of these sunny day iridescent dots, and there's some orange ones in here that would look nice. And if I'd done this in Melon Mambo, I could probably put those on there too. Let's see what else we have in here. You know what else we have? We have teeny tiny little bumblebees. Oh, wait though, a bumblebee doesn't actually go with a toadstool, does it? Let me show you the bumblebees while I have them. Look at these teeny tiny little bumblebees. Aren't they adorable? But as I just said, they don't go with toadstools. So we're gonna leave those off. This would go nicely. You can use some of these sequins, adhesive backed shiny sequins. I'm gonna use some of these orangish ones. I don't have my take your pick tool out. Could get it out, I suppose. I'll just put one up there. Ooh. There's this, and then one up here. And let's try another one. Maybe down here. Just to sparkle it up a little bit. And there is our card. Now we did have this piece left over. This one is not going to be wide enough to go on the back of an envelope. Well, not this way anyways. But I think it's 2 1/4 just about fits on the back there. So we could make a coordinated envelope, even though the greens go sideways. That's not a deal breaker for me. But you could also just give them a sneak peek of what's to come by putting this down the front of your card. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's give a little cut here just to trim off. I'm gonna go right near these orange toadstools, and let's make it 1 inch. Put that right down the front. And what I like to do, because I don't want to get glue too much outside where I want, I know I'm going to need glue on this edge. But if I put this up against here, I can see how far I need to go on the edge. And you want to get a little close to the edge, but not all the way close, because you don't want the glue to squeeze out much, if at all. But you also want the edges well adhered, because it's going to be going through the postal system, and you don't want it to gunk up their machines, and they don't want that either. So here we go. Here is a cute little thank you card. We'll see you tomorrow for a new lunchtime launch video.